guys, how are you doing? It's Kat here at Spiritual Candy. Hope you're really well. It's good to be speaking to you again. So this is my love vlog. So this week I'm talking about my favourites for January. So I've got a few things that I've been really enjoying or using in the last month or so to share with you. First thing I want to share with you is my newfound love of writing. Now, I've been writing a lot for the last couple of years, but I've hardly talked about it on the channel. Even, I know I've had a little break recently, but even before that, I haven't really talked about it on the channel. So I'm really into my writing. So that's been really exciting for me. In the last 2 years, I've written a couple of books, which I'm hoping that I will get published at some point. I've written an ebook. The most important thing for me at the minute as well for you guys is that I am writing blog posts. Now, I'm not going to say specifically I'm going to write one each week. I'm just trying to get them sorted now so I can start uploading them. I think to start with there may well be a couple, 2 or 3 a week, and then I might end up doing roughly one a week. I don't know, I'm just going to upload them as and when I feel inspired to write them. But I just want to get my writing out there and do what I feel called to do, which is to make a difference by sharing my experiences and what I hear, what I see, all towards helping people to feel more loved, more aware of their own power, more aware of taking care of their own needs and feeling satisfied and happy with their lives. So finding that real happiness and finding that sort of self-love and dealing, you know, all of that stuff, all of that good stuff. So yeah, so my writing is my big favourite because honestly, since I found my purpose in my writing, my life has improved in a way that I find hard to properly articulate. And it's really inspired me on my mission because I'm so passionate now about finding purpose. Because when you find your purpose, it puts everything into perspective. It makes sense of everything. It makes life so much better. It's just great. Now, I know there's this bit of a division here about purpose because then some people feel like they're failing if they can't find their purpose or they don't feel they can find their passion in life. Hey, look, I'm 37. I only really got a grip on my passion 2 years ago. And I can tell you that I have been trying like mad to find it for 20 years. And that's not an exaggeration. That's not an exaggeration. I think I was about 18 or 19, so maybe 19 years I've been looking for it. Okay, so it was a long time. I have been reading, watching videos, reading books about it, trying to find what is it, what's my passion. So I'm not saying you can't be happy without your passion, but it's just something I feel really passionate about, is finding your passion, you know. So my writing is so important for me in so many different ways because it's helped to clarify my life purpose. It's made me happier. So that's my big favourite this month. And I think, to be honest, it's almost going to be like a favourite every month for me because I just absolutely love writing. So that's my first favourite into the bag for this. Okay, so my second favourite for this month is something else that you may or may not know about me is that I don't want to say I'm an artist because that sounds so much more official or whatever than it is. I have been an art teacher at high school. I'm an okay artist. I'm very average. You know, I can just about pass in certain ways, but I'm by no means am I mega talented. I've always really enjoyed it. I'm quite good at it. By an everyday person standard, I'm a good artist. But by artist standards, I'm well below par, if that puts it into perspective. You know, like, people think I'm being false humble when I say, oh, I'm not a good artist. I'm not a good artist. But by, you know, my family's standard, or, you know, somebody who's not arty at all, of course, they look at what I do and think, oh, you're a good artist, okay? So I've done all different types of things. I've done painting and drawing, etc. over the years. But recently what I've started doing as just a fun thing, I've got a couple of examples here. These aren't properly finished, they're not varnished and stuff, but I've started doing these. Oh, I'm just looking if the light will shine. Sorry about the light, by the way, it's not amazing. These creative collage. So these are just like things I've clipped out of magazines, and these are actually A4 wallpaper samples. Okay, so I had a load of these left, and I'm so like, I love things that are follow a pattern, follow a style or a pattern. So I love the fact that I had loads and loads of these wallpaper samples that were all cut to A4 size. I had loads of them from when I moved into this house. So what I've done is used them and taken all these clippings, because I've been clipping things out of magazines for years that I like, not really knowing what I'm going to do with them. I felt like I wanted to do collage with them, but I wasn't sure how. And then anyway, like I say, I found these A4 bits of paper, wallpaper samples, and I've stuck things on them basically. That's pretty much it. So this is another one. So this one is kind of like, if you can see, it's like pictures of people's heads from magazines. Can you see, like, you can see where I've used the Mod Podge to stick things on, but it's not varnished yet. But they're kind of like surreally weird, slightly strange. I picked two of the more regular ones that you can see on camera that they make sense, but this, I love this clipping. I've had this clipping from a magazine. I think it was from an American fashion magazine. I've had it for years and years and years. It's one of my favourite clippings. And then this is a clipping of a key from something else. So I just absolutely love these, and I've got loads of them now. So they're like my little art things. I think maybe one day I might make a gallery wall of them or something. I don't know. I really like them, but they're just for fun. I just do them for fun. It's just a bit of a creative activity that I enjoy. So that is my number 2. Okay, number 3. I was going to try and hold my tablet up with the things on, but the lighting's just reflecting off it, so I can't do that. So basically, I'm just going to have to tell you, and if I can manage to insert a picture here, I will, but I'm not great with the old technology, as you well know if you follow my channel. So, but the third, my third favourite this month is Lewis Howes' channel. Now, I watch a lot of things on YouTube. I don't watch the television much at all. I largely watch, I watch a little bit of Netflix and things like that. Of course, like we all do. I watch films now and again, but I largely watch YouTube. So I'm a big YouTube fan. I like a lot of regular lifestyle vloggers. Most of them are quite young, mid-20s. There's one girl that I really like. She's called Lucy Jessica Carter. Lucy Jessica Carter. I'm sure that's her anyway. She's just like a lifestyle vlogger, really. Beauty, fashion, being a mum. She's a mum of 2 children. And I really like her vlogs. I like looking at other people's lives, and I enjoy it. And she's got a lot of, I like her style, her makeup, her clothes. So I watch a lot of that. But in terms of what I think, I mean, that may appeal to you. So if you like that type of thing, check her out. She's British. She's from Bath, or Bath if you're from the south of the country. Yeah, and she's really good. I like her a lot. But also, you can, on YouTube, you can find a lot of transformational stuff. And Lewis Howes, I really love. He has the School of Greatness. He's based in LA, and he interviews a lot of people. Now, I don't love all of them because they're really about entrepreneurship, really, and some of them I love. Some of them are very sort of like not at all transformational spiritual. They're like, a lot of people are athletes and things like that, but I like that because you get all different perspectives, all different ideas. People like Marianne Williamson have been on there though, Les Brown. I can picture a woman, I can't remember her name. But anyway, there's loads of sort of transformational people, but there are also sports people, business people. He's interviewed Tony Robbins quite a few times, I think. So, you know, there's a lot of good people on there. So really check his channel out. I like him as well. I think he's got a nice manner. As always, don't love everything he says, but I mean, how would I? I mean, it's not realistic, is it? So that's my next favourite. Okay, the next one's properly random, but let's be honest, you would be kind of surprised if it wasn't, because normally I talk about things like, I'm sure I talked about spinach or my hair in one of my previous favourites, so, you know, what can you expect? But it's called, it's a feather quilt, sorry. I've swapped to having a light, it's like a 7.5 tog feather quilt. Now, I live in the Midlands of the UK, so the weather is normally moderately cold. It doesn't generally get ridiculously cold. It doesn't generally get particularly hot. We have normally about 3 to 5 weeks of quite hot weather, as in around 30 degrees. And we normally have about 4 to 5 weeks of freezing or below in amongst the winter time. But most of the time it's sort of just cold-ish. You know, you need a jacket to a heavy coat and a cardigan or whatever, a jumper. Most of the time it's sort of that sort of temperature, if you're not familiar with Britain. And I know a lot of people who watch me are not British, so that's why I'm explaining the weather. Sorry if you're British and thinking, why is she telling me what the weather's like? But anyway, this quilt is not very thick at all, but I've swapped back to a feather quilt. All of my adult life I've had a synthetic quilt, and recently I swapped to a feather quilt, and it has changed. It's a game changer. It's really changed my life. I love it. It keeps me warm without me getting hot, and when I'm hot it's not too warm, if that makes sense. It's been great. I've had it now through the summer and now through the worst part of the winter, and I absolutely love it. It just keeps me at the perfect temperature. I have an IKEA, I think it's called, how you pronounce it is Hundsbar. It's only the cheap feather quilt. I think it cost me about £20, £25. And it's really great, so I would highly recommend that. My last favourite for this month is Beth Kempton. She is a British transformational person, and she's got a website, dowhatyouLove.com, I think. And also she's got a book that I will either insert a clip or put it in the description box below. But dowhatyouLove.com. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the description box below, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Beth Kempton, she's really, really good. If you like, now I can't remember her name, the Australian transformational woman, I'm going to have to pause the video and think about it. I tried to pause my video and actually stopped it. So I just caused myself loads more trouble. Why I didn't just think about it and then cut it out. It's one of those days, I feel. Anyway, Rebecca Campbell, that was the name I was trying to think of. Anyway, yeah, so Rebecca Campbell, if you like Rebecca Campbell, it's quite similar, and she's all about, it's very much in line with what I started off this video talking about, purpose, finding what you love, finding what gives you, it's Freedom Seeker is her book. Freedom Seeker, Beth Kempton. It's a really beautiful book as well. I would show it to you, but I've given it to my mum. So it's white with the blue edging. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a lovely book. Freedom Seeker. I think if you are, perhaps consider yourself quite a long way along the awakening journey, and you're very aware of like self-care, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, you've got quite a good sense of what your purpose is, etc. It's maybe not quite, you might find it a little bit like, well, I know all of this. Okay, I'm not saying I know it all, I don't mean that at all, but I mean, I didn't find like loads of things in there that I hadn't already kind of figured out for myself or got from elsewhere. However, if you are fairly new to the awakening journey, I think it would be an amazing start. It's very much like the Rebecca Campbell books, but perhaps a bit more practical, a bit more like every so often, literally every page, there's an action for you to take, something for you to write about, something for you to journal about. So it's really good for that. Okay, it's superb for that. So I would really recommend this book to anyone. I mean, even if you're quite a long way along the awakening journey, it's still great. You're still going to learn a lot from it. So I would still recommend it. I certainly learned bits and pieces from it that were great. And I just think it's particularly good for anyone who's really new to the journey. So that is the sum and total of my favourites for January. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're really well, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah.